So I'm new to this work with you, and so maybe other people already know the answer to this, but I'm trying to understand dark energy, what your definition of that is, and because I come from a couple different traditions that I study, and I'm a devotee of the dark goddess. I love dark energy, the way that I understand it.
Right.
But I also know how it's a very slippery slope, and how we can be in dark energy and think we're using it in a high way when we're not.
Of course.
And how does that get discerned? And
Yeah.
I feel like I probably have shut that down in myself because of knowing how easy it can be to abuse that energy.
Yeah, well, it depends. I'm not talking about dark magic. I'm talking about, dark mother, since you mentioned that, right? Like, there's a great poem called Dark Mother Scream. I think it's a Robert Bly poem, but dark mother is is the part of you that is. Well, let me try it this different way, since you asked me what dark energy is. Okay. I don't want to get into the definition because everybody's got their own. My own definition is there's a spectrum of sexual energy from angelic light on one end to kind of the what we worked with a little bit yesterday, sort of wild animal or wolf, or owning you, like asking, I ask the men, like, for this moment, own her. Right? There's some dark energy in that. So it goes even darker. I mean, it goes into all kinds of darkness. So, but on the spectrum, this is bass, and this is treble. And then in the mid-range, right? So if we're making music, do we want our music to have no bass? Most of the time, good music has some bass. Now, how much bass is really dependent upon who's listening to the music. And so the amount of dark energy that you add to your art, your music per se, is really a personal choice. But to disregard it completely would mean to just try to be making music with mid-range and treble. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Is there a particular kind of dark energy you don't want to go to, like slapping, for example?
Yeah, I'm not into being hit.
No, or hitting.
or hitting,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
But I guess for me...
So it would be a dark edge for you. Pinching, biting, using dirty language.
I mean, I've done that. When I'm in love and I'm with someone, I mean, I'm not just going to pull that out in a workshop with somebody I just met. But I guess maybe a deeper question can be, I sometimes feel that dark energy as predator-like. And...
well, without love, it is. And without the agreement that that's where we're playing, it is. Both ways. It can be predator-like, it could be castrating. Right? So, yeah, you're right. I mean, some women would love that energy from the person they loved, right? Predator, like, yeah, like, kind of like I'm gonna eat you, or, right,
That's different, actually, for me. When I'm saying predator, I mean like, you have the feminine light and I need it. And so
that's more vampiric.
Yes.
But even vampiric, used in the right. So to disregard all dark energy, to me, is missing the point that anything brought in love has a sacred capacity. So anything brought with love has a sacred element to it. Even the darkest stuff. Even the, I mean, we did some workshops where, we would have to do these sacred theaters of dark energy, and some people this was their thing. Like, I think one of the scenes was her hanging upside down, and, he wasn't really bleeding her out, but, if she didn't show enough devotion to bleed her out, right? And then they were getting off on it was to them, this was the sublime practice. Not my cup of tea, really, but maybe a little farther than I would go. But who are we to judge what somebody should enjoy and not enjoy, I think, right? So it's really, but you could tell that there was like such tenderness and such love as they played out this scene. It wasn't really happening, it was just being played out in a scene. So it's so moment to moment. And yeah, of course you have to be, this is something that obviously has to be played with, with a lot of meticulous awareness and attention. But it's also something that shouldn't be denied. It's one of my problems with most Tantra, tantric workshops, is that there's just so much, it's all in the light realm. And man, it's boring. It's just fucking boring after a while. Yeah? Yeah, it's like, oh, like how many rose petals can I fucking like paint your face with? Can I stuff them down your throat? Right? But all dark and no light is also, you know what I mean? It's a well-balanced meal. We want to have a well-balanced meal.
The yin and the yang.
Totally, yeah. And of course, this is why my work with the men is really about creating meticulous awareness so that they can feel these things. Yeah. But I think a bigger problem happens is when we repress. Dark energy repressed comes out in pathology in men and women, right? And it'll come out as as war games and all kinds of watching certain kinds of porn, and a dark energy repressed can be a very dangerous energetic. Mm-hmm. So finding a healthy, safe way to express that, is also, I think, part of this work. Should be part of healthy sexuality, I guess I would say.
All right. Thank you.